Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift broadcast of the Ride Along with GCN out on the new Mayan expansion. We're super excited to bring you this look at the expansion with GCN along with Simon Richardson and Matt Stevens. Quick little course update, though, on exactly what you're going to be looking at. It is a 10 kilometers of new roads that will take you through an alpine prairie on your way into the Watopia jungle, containing some mysterious forgotten ruins. Not just anybody can ride the new expansion, though. Zwifters must earn it. You must be level 10 or higher in any sport or higher in Zwift in order to enter. Additionally, anybody who joins a scheduled group ride or race that takes place on a level 10 locked route will be able to ride with the group regardless of their level. So let's get right into the ride here. I believe Size course ride has gotten out onto the ruins, or at least out onto the pack already has started riding here. So let's go ahead and bring these guys right on in to the broadcast here. It's good to have you here. It looks like Simon, let's see if we got him on course with us, as well as Matt warming up, it looks like, out on Zwift here. Matt, Simon, how's it going over there with the group ride so far?
Hey Nathan, yeah, it's good, thanks. We've got a nice big group together. It's fantastic to see so many GCN kits going on. And we're keeping a nice tempo, keeping it.
Here we go.
Well, Matt's off as well.
And so, have you guys had the chance to check out the course yet? I think we were chatting a little bit before, and you were asking what's up with the Mayan course. So it sounds like not so much just yet.
No, so not seen anything yet. So I'm pretty excited. That's what I said.
Right on. And it looks like you guys are. Yesterday, actually, Simon, I heard right before we got going here, you had a little bit of a race experience yesterday out on course. The community was a little bit hyped about that. How's the body feeling before heading into this ride today?
It's all right, actually. Yeah, I did. I signed up for one of the KISS races last night. It was pretty hard, actually. We set off at like 600 watts for a minute or something. And it was at that point I realised that maybe I needed to have got my head in gear a little bit better. But it was fantastic. We did the London Brit circuit, and yeah, it was awesome. I had a great time. Didn't get much of a result to speak of. I had a great time.
Right on. But now this is a little bit different. Obviously, you guys are into a group ride. And there are actually two separate rides here. We want to make sure to get Matt's perspective here as well. It looks like you guys are going to be holding in this group ride that's specific to the B group, about 3.2 to 3.9. I think that's right, Simon?
Yeah, that's right. So I'm holding it at my weight, which is like 73 kilos, at 250 watts.
Oh, 240 watts. Gotcha. And then, Matt, I think you have a C group ride going on here that took off about, I believe, 2 minutes after Simon's. And how's that going so far?
It's going okay. One thing that concerned me was the length of my socks. That could prove to be an issue as we get deeper into this course. Just tried to change in mid-ride, ended up getting dropped. So I've just chased back on with my sock length unchanged. But hey, I think we're going to be fine. Got another 252 folks with me. It's pretty organised, but that chase has meant I've gone pretty deep. But right now I'm just going to sit in the wheels, recuperate, and enjoy the views.
You know what? I did wonder why you're putting out 360 watts.
I know, it's a lot.
I didn't realise it's because you got the sock game wrong.
Yeah, I got the sock game wrong, yeah. It's awful. Anyway, I'm back in the mix now. A great group. Sorry, isn't it pretty cool to see so many GCN jerseys in one pack?
Oh, it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. It's kind of weird. I love it.
Yeah. How's the pace spinning? Can you feel yesterday riding your leg side?
Not too badly.
Good
I think
stuff.
if we start getting frisky,
Yeah.
I think I feel it. But all right for the minute, thanks.
Yeah.
Big training block. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a triple day for me. I rode in, doing this, and riding home.
Yeah, same here, mate.
Fantastic.
No rest of the wicked.
And then real quick, guys, I just want to let everybody know that if they would like to interact with the broadcast today, they can do so, actually. You can comment on the Facebook post, actually, over at Go Zwift, or you can tweet at Z Community Live, at Z Community Live, and we'll bring your questions and comments right on into the broadcast and relay them to Matt and Simon. Anything related to GCN and Zwift, bring them right on our way, and we will relay those right on through. Anything about the new course or experiences with Zwift or what these guys are up to when it comes to the training out on Zwift. Looks like you guys are about to head up the Epic KOM. When's the last time you guys have seen that?
We were on the Epic KOM just about a week ago when we were filming the Zwift hacks. I must admit, that's one of my favourite parts of Zwift. You can really get stuck into it, but especially the views from the top. And then the downhill, well, it's cool. But yeah, I do go on the Epic KOM course every couple of weeks to try to anyway.
And Simon as well. I think the last time I seen you out on the Epic KOM, at least on this reverse or the forward, we did see, I believe, some suffering on the tower climb, actually, on the way up. On the group ride that we had last year, I believe, that we were hosting. So when's the last time you've seen that course?
Honestly, that's probably the last time. So I tend to race when I'm on Zwift, so I haven't done one up there yet. So it'd be nice to get back up. We've got some excited people in this bunch, I think. Might have to do a bit of policing.
Yeah, we do see that. Uphill gradient start to kick in a little bit there. It looks like all those GCN kicks right now. And what trainers are you guys on? Maybe Matt will be the best to answer that, as now we're going to start getting into the higher heart rate here. It looks like for size, it starts to raise up into that 158, 160 or so.
Yeah, well, I'll speak for size. Size on the Elite Drivo at the moment. But yeah, he's on the foot slopes of this big climb. The climb that I can actually see in the distance, just to the left of that smoking volcano.
Right on, and then what are you on there, Matt?
I'm on an Elite Diretto, to give it its Italian pronunciation. So does that sound about right?
That was beautiful, mate. Absolutely beautiful.
Which I think translates to English as direct.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, basically flew, mate.
Good fact, mate. Thanks.
Yeah, cheers. I feel pretty good. This is the thing about Zwift, though, isn't it? It's that kind of road feel you get. I must admit, before I went on Zwift, I looked at it and I thought, is it really that good? Can it be that good? Because everybody coming up and said it was amazing. And you can't really get across until you experience Zwift that real road feel, can you, Si?
No, it's it's uncanny, actually. Especially when you're staring at the screen like we are.
Yeah.
You really do get absorbed by it, don't you?
Certainly do. I'm just looking at that. There's planes just on the right hand side. I just would like to see in Zwift at some point in the future some sort of dragons breathing fire on you. You had to kind of escape. If any of the Zwift technicians, software engineers are listening, let's get some dragons in the mix.
That's actually brings up a great point, actually, there, Matt. So one of the conversations within the community, actually, that comes up a lot of times, Matt, is the game or training platform. I tend to be a both end, being a professional mountain biker that's used it a lot for training in my career, but then also a hardcore gamer as well. I'm like, it's both. You tend to, I mean, dragons, that sounds like a very gamified type perspective here. What do you think there, Matt?
Well, I'm kind of with you, because I wouldn't say my training is particularly structured, but when I do go on Zwift, I get a proper workout. And I do sometimes say to myself, I'm not going to get super competitive today. But then I look at my course times, up the mountain, around Watopia, and it kind of draws me in. But at the same time, often I'm looking around, looking at the real depth, the richness of the graphics, even just looking at the road surface. And it's weird, but I get excited about really cool CGI and graphics. And liking gaming, liking movies, comic books, I'd like to see a bit of a fusion, maybe an expansion pack where you can have a bit of an adventure while you're on your bike, but I love it.
Si, can we get your perspective on that one as well? So, training platform or game, or a little bit of both. What? Let's hear what the Richardson has to say.
You know what? I think I'd always have said, like, oh, it'd be better to keep it like, you know, like the real world. And then, you know, when the volcano course opened up and I was racing around a volcano, I was like, you know what? That's kind of cool. And then I thought, well, if it's cool racing around an active volcano, maybe it's cool to have dragons. I don't know. I'm up for it. It's it's not something I crave when I'm riding and, you know, commuting to work. But when on Zwift, why not?
And a little bit of chase from the dragons might be motivating as well, perhaps, if they're breathing fire.
The ultimate training session.
You'd probably get a personal best around Watopia, wouldn't you, if you're chased by a dragon?
And now you guys have efficiently entered into, actually, the new section of the course. That right-hand turn right there, as you guys are going to be entering into the, at least Simon's group has, it looks like, is now entering. Matt's group is starting to climb into the same section here, about to cross the bridge, but probably going to be some great sights here as you head between the mountains into that kind of hidden valley there. Definitely want to get some sights here and get first impressions from you there, Simon, as you do enter into that old Mayan ruins there.
Yeah, well, it looks pretty cool at the moment, and you know, racing through the dark. And well, we can't see a great deal right now, but I'm thinking as we go around each corner, we're going to get a new vista opening up. So yeah, first impressions are good, I think. Very good.
Yeah, it's interesting having that new gate there as well in that right-hand turn. There has been a little bit of back and forth in the community about the level 10 lock, but people can enter a group ride like this one that is going toward the Mayan expansion, and as long as they're a part of a group that is a part of that expansion, they will be able to get in without being level 10, but a solo ride into that area must be earned, actually, and that's what those gates are kind of about. That blue film that you went through holds back riders from getting in.
I think that's fair enough. You know, like, once you're on Zwift, it's not like, you know, all you got to do is spend time on it, I guess, to get through the levels. So it seems perfectly reasonable to me, and it gives you a bit of an incentive too, doesn't it? To, you know, spend a bit more time, ride your bike more, get fitter. Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, it does seem like a good. We had a conversation about it on the Zwiftcast recently, and it seemed to be fairly. Everybody seemed to be on the same page there, that it's a pretty good idea, especially with the ability to, you know, encouraging community to ride together if you want to get into the expansion, but then also being able to earn something. In my experience also of MMOs in the past has always been that it's so much better not to have something just instantly given to you sometimes, but being able to earn it in the game has that awesome reward. So
yeah, well, I guess it comes back to that whole thing about computer games, doesn't it? And that's a tried and tested formula. So yeah, it makes sense to make the most of, you know, what people have already found out, I guess, about human nature and what keeps people inspired and motivated.
I think that's really interesting, Si, because there are parallels in the sporting world. You know, as you improve, when I was a kid, gradually improving my performance, the first bike I got was a second-hand bike. Until I showed a kind of love for the sport and a modicum of success, my dad said, well, you know, we'll upgrade, you get a nice set of wheels and new tyres, a new pair of shorts as you improve. Well, I think, you know, offering somebody some sort of reward for dedication and improving is kind of natural across life, in sport and in gaming as well. So I kind of like it. As long as it isn't too super exclusive, as long as it's kind of achievable, I think it's great.
This has got quite deep, Matt, hasn't it? We've gone from dragons to metaphors of life.
Yeah. We just tone it down a bit. From socks to dragons to life metaphors.
Right,
blimey.
That's GCN at this, right?
Yeah. Although that was pretty GCN, really, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, let's be honest.
So one of the other topics for sure is the, along with the group rides, also the launch of group workouts too. I know you guys have the GCN workouts out on Zwift. We've been doing these really cool Coach Hendy rides as well. Here's a quick little example of that for the viewers as you guys do enter into the ruins. Actually, let's keep this on site here. This is actually going to be Simon's first look at the ruins, actually entering into this new section. And you'll definitely, I think, notice a lot more vegetation and graphics on screen.
Yeah, it's cool. Look at that jungle. Some nice waterfalls coming down. It reminds me a lot, Matt, of Taiwan. I don't know if anyone knows that Matt and I were in Taiwan. We've kept it pretty quiet. But yeah, I don't really get to ride through rainforests, you know, on my normal day to day.
Yeah, there's no jet lag involved in this as well, so is it? You know, there's total jet lag free. And what I have noticed, aside from the beautiful vegetation, the precipitous drops and climbs and valleys, are the rather beautiful flora and fauna adorning every side of the road. I've never seen these flowers before. I'd be interested to know what variety they are. Definitely silence there.
Well, I think that's what's an acanthus then.
Oh, right, okay,
I was looking at trying to recognise some of them. Yeah, definitely an acanthus.
Yeah, so also a little bit of a warm-up maybe for Sunday there. A lot more dirt roads there, Simon, out on course than usually seen.
That's right, yeah, you alluded to Sunday there. So I've been wanting to race my cross bike a lot this year, and through various different things, trips where we work, haven't managed to line up yet. So I've got one penciled in for Sunday, and that was why I was racing last night. I needed to blow the cobwebs away. But yeah, it's great. It feels cool racing down dirt roads. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're actually doing our first race broadcast on this course. The first race broadcast of this course, actually. Later tonight, it'll be interesting to see how this new kind of out of sight, out of mind might come into play, actually, with all of the different turns that we have there. I mean, there's a lot more winding around on this dirt course, I think, than we've seen before in the world of Zwift. So definitely something new there, especially also with the added addition there of like lot less pavement, that is for sure.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Interesting what you're saying about the racing, because in all the races I've done on Zwift, it's tended to have been like a group that pretty much contest the finish together, and you get selected from the back, most of the front. Except for last night, where actually it split and a group went away. So the idea of that happening on this course, you easily escape and say when you're out of sight, you're out of mind. When there's a handy graphic in the corner showing you exactly where someone is, but not the same as being able to track them down, is it?
Yeah, definitely not the same. I think the ability to get away will be a lot, maybe not a lot easier, as a lot of the racers recently have been chatting about the group being able to bring people back fairly quickly, but I think this might sort things out a little bit more. As we were chatting about, though, group rides as well as group workouts, something we have been focusing a lot on recently, and myself and Greg Henderson have been doing these group workouts. Here's a quick little example. We were doing what he was calling the Andre Greipel lead out workout. It was a ramp workout where we were actually practicing what it might be like to hold the wheel for each lead out man all the way up into the last 15-second sprint, actually. And himself and I were going through that while he was actually coaching us through it live. And I know that GCN actually has some workouts in game. Maybe an opportunity there to me doing some perhaps group workouts as well with GCN in the future.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We regularly get messages from GCN viewers who are saying that they've just been absolutely crippled by one GCN Zwift workout or another. So yeah, we'll have to pluck up some courage and join people out there. That'd be a fantastic idea.
It'd probably be very welcome, I would think, by the community. It looks like it's heating up there a little bit with you guys. Are the groups holding to the question? I think around right now, from Matt's perspective here, it looks like this is size perspective in the B group, and then in the C group, looking at the watts per kilogram as well. Up in that 2.3 to 3.0 on the front, there might be a few going hard here. How's the pace holding there for you, Matt?
It's not too bad. I mean, that's one of the things. I mean, we've got 252 people in my group, and to try and keep discipline among such a large range of people is always quite tough. But everybody, I think, is doing pretty well. It's split up a little bit early on, but I think guys have realised and settled into the tempo of this ride. And at the moment, I think there's one person just off the front, but we're pretty much all together. So yeah, I'm riding around 2.5 to kind of 3. Which is sort of in the middle of the pack. But one thing where it's difficult to hold the low watts per kilograms on the climbs, that's where people tend to surge ahead. But that's kind of quite natural, But generally speaking, it's working pretty well. Everybody's keen, but everybody's pretty disciplined, and we've got a really solid working group.
Yeah, it looks like that's what's happening there for sure. The riders look fairly organized there. If we were to click ahead a little bit, there might be a few off the front. It looks like you guys have let them go and allowed them to do their own thing. And that's one thing about the group rides. A lot of times when you got that leader beacon, it's such a great feature to know who to congregate around in order to hold the right pace out there.
Exactly. So a couple of times I've just gone above it, particularly when I was chasing after adjusting my socks. But now I'm back in the mix. I'm holding steady, occasionally drifting above, but that's kind of quite normal. But generally speaking, it's a really well-spirited group. I mean, and also, we all love riding on the road as well, but at what point, apart from if you ride an enormous sportif, do you get to so easily ride with a group of like-minded people? It's fantastic. It really offers that variation. So, and that's the one thing about Zwift. We often get people saying, hey, why don't you just go out and ride on the road? It's better. But Zwift isn't here to replace the road, it's here to complement it. And that's why I like it so much.
Yeah, definitely. The complementary nature of it there is amazing. The training you can get indoors is so amazing for your ability to take that outside. I think that probably is why Simon's jumping on yesterday for a race to try and open up those cobwebs.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's not often that you're nearly late for the start line because you got a supermarket delivery turning up. But, that's pretty accessible if you ask me.
Yeah, for sure, sure.
Just Nathan, just echoing your point there about, blending the road and riding indoors. When I was racing domestically as a pro in the UK, I would say, because I was working around a job, and I'd imagine many of the people here are in full-time education, working around a job, indoor training is you get the most bang for your buck. So I was spending about 50% of my time riding indoors. Very lonely it was, in my dark garage with a sweaty, rusty turbo trainer. But now people can do it and enhance that experience. So I'm all for it, and I just wish this was around the back end of the 1980s.
It does look like you guys are just starting the climb here. So this is it's a more of a false flat, I believe, on the road to ruins. Simon definitely already into it, going toward the what we're calling the Indiana Jones Bridge a lot. There's a great little rope bridge you will be going over in a little while here. But if we get this top view looking down, you can see what they've already ridden through, but definitely feeling about a 3% gradient, I would think, on this uphill now.
Yeah, we're definitely climbing. It's official.
Yeah, I'm just on the foot slope, so a little bit further down, maybe a kilometre or and a half away from you side. But yeah, the gradient started to bite, and this is where managing your effort and riding to power is a skill. So what everybody's riding a little bit more. Putting a bit more power out, so it's about just making sure we ease back. The thing about these group rides, although one or two riders are going to do their own thing, what we don't want to do is distance too many people who come to ride at a set tempo, so that's where you need to just back off the pace a little bit, or the pressure, keep within those power zones, Yeah, but it's a long little climb, and like I said before, absolutely amazing views. The attention to detail here is super, super cool.
That was actually one of the major talking points around this update, actually, in the Zwiftcast recently. One of the creative director, actually, Lloyd from Zwift, was chatting about how much detail they had added to this expansion, and we're hoping that also how much it would push the performance of the computers out there. It sounds like it's been received very well, though. A lot of testing was done on it, it looked like, when I visited ZHQ recently. So yeah, lots more detail around this. And now it looks like you're actually entering in too, Simon, that rope swing bridge, actually.
You be careful, Simon, mate. I know you've got some good skills, but just don't get too near the edge, mate. You're worrying me.
That is quality, isn't it?
Please don't do a Temple of Doom on me, mate.
Looks like a little bit of a kick there, 7 watts per kilogram, showing us.
When you're on an Indiana Jones rope bridge, you got to do something, haven't you, Nathan?
Definitely a good little kick there over the top. It does look like the pack is getting a little rambunctious on you. A few of them getting away. That's definitely one of the steepest points. Just a real quick little kick on the rope bridge, actually, to get out of there. You guys will, I believe, exit to your right here in just a moment out of the Road to Ruins. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but the new mini map in the upper right-hand corner, have you taken any looks at that? There's actually 3 different views that riders can see, and you actually see all the riders that are nearby you as well, that are all marked green for you as well. Let's see if you can see that for B category.
Yeah, it's a real change from what was there before, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a definite enhancement. That's right, isn't it? You know, it's you can look at it. You can also, like I said, you can see the gradient of the climb. You can see where you are on the climb, and as I said, you can actually see what's coming up in terms of corners, where you are on the group. There's all that information in one. So yeah, it's really cool.
Looks like the pack's split up a little bit for Simon there. Probably bring them all back together. It looks like it was just a little kick in order to maybe show what they got over the rope bridge there. Now we're back with Matt's perspective here. As you can see, it looks like they're starting to make the climb good, proper. Solid, you know, only 200 watts or so, so everybody looks to be sticking together a little bit here as we're looking at Matt on the group here. How's the draft there on the uphill?
That's okay. It's I've just dropped off a few wheels. I'm just trying to. There's a few people saying that we're a couple of bends behind, so it does happen on climbs. You know, it's a little bit difficult to keep everybody together. But as I've tried to message as much as I can, guys at the front, just to knock it off a little bit, so people don't get distanced. But we're just heading on to that. I think what will become an iconic feature of Zwift, the rope bridge. Here we go. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of the best views, I think, as well, Matt, out on Zwift for sure. There we go. That's a good one there with the waterfall in the background with you guys going over the top there. One of the best shots probably of the broadcast.
That's a little steep kick, isn't it, over the top of that side?
Yeah,
I didn't quite reach the heading heights of 7 watts per kilo. Just under 4 watts per kilo. Keeping it on the low down. I'm just going to try and encourage people to regroup a little bit here.
Yeah, and when it comes to ride etiquette, that's probably a good topic a little bit around Zwift, how the front end of groups, just like when you're in real life group ride, when you get a couple on the front starting to push the pace too much and then the egos start double wheeling and double wheeling and double wheeling, next thing you know, everybody's pushing 5 watts per kilogram. You know, ride etiquette seems almost more important in the virtual world. What's your guys' experience with that? Maybe Matt first, now that you're letting people know, hey, let's hold up a little bit here.
Yeah, there are similarities, especially when you amplify the amount of people you've got. I mean, thinking back, and Simon will no doubt agree with me, when you go on a club run of 10, 15, 20 people, there are 1 or 2 characters who, in the nicest possible sense, want to kind of prove a point and get out. And some people like to, their race is almost their training. But you do learn, because as well as being something, you go on your bike to train, riding a bike in a group is a social experience, and that's what, one of the things I kind of liked about cycling in the early days. Okay, I liked pushing myself, I liked, the ability to improve my performance, go out into the countryside, but actually first and foremost, it was meeting people and learning from the more experienced riders in the group, and that's where you learn all the kind of rider etiquette skills and road etiquette skills. And a similar thing happens here. It's just a little bit harder because there's so many of you, but essentially it was great to see a couple of the riders up the front messaging me and messaging the group and saying, hey, let's knock it back a bit and wait for Matt. Let's get behind my marker. So it's really good. It's almost like the group's kind of self-regulating, which is kind of wonderful. So there are some real parallels to riding out on the road.
Definitely, and Simon, it looks like your group's doing pretty well as well. It there's 112 in your group. It looks like it's strung out a little bit as you're climbing over the top here. But what's your experience with ride etiquette out on Zwift? Or mainly racing though, so maybe your ride etiquette is a little bit more competitive.
Yeah. Well, it seems, I think when you get a group ride that is labelled as a faster group ride, I think you naturally get a little bit more competitiveness in there. So to be expected a bit. Ultimately, it's the nice thing about Zwift is it's not like you get left behind and stranded in the real world. So if you want to go off ahead, that's kind of okay if that's if they don't want to do a group ride, that's up to them. But it's nice, I think, if people are a little bit aware of what's going on behind them. And like Matt said, it's fine to to get a gap on a climb. But it's always about just cruising down the other side, letting everyone catch back on, and riding around in a group.
Definitely, and I just want to remind the viewers real quick, as we're chatting about group rides, group workouts, and all the things to go along with the new expansion here with the Mayan expansion, that you can interact with the broadcast here. Any questions or comments for GCN, guys, ask them here on the Facebook, that is, over at Go Zwift, or tweet at Z Community Live, at Z Community Live, and you can bring your comments in. We do have some comments chatting a little bit here. Ben Bishop saying that the new course was sweet. Looks like they're really enjoying the course out there. What's some standout highlights maybe for you guys? And did you catch the sloth? Well, that's the other question. Did you see where the sloth was out there? I was getting a question, what's the official name? I'm not going to reveal what I think the official name is just yet, but I would love to see if you guys were able to catch where they were at.
Did you see it, Si?
I did not see the sloth, I'm afraid, no. I was too busy looking at the flora and fauna after Matt pointed out the beautiful flowers.
No, it's great when you kind of can speak to people on this game. I mean, the question I actually want to ask Si, because I know it's quite a controversial subject here on GCN and generally within the cycling community. One of the people that's, I can't remember the name, one of the people in my group asked me before the start, is it peak up or peak down on Zwift? So Si, I'm going to bat that one straight back to you. What is the protocol, essentially the virtual game?
Well, I mean, in the virtual world, as in the real world, it's almost always peak up.
Oh.
The only time that it's an exception is if it's raining so hard, you actually need to use the peak to shield your eyes. But otherwise, I can't imagine where anyone would ever have a peak down, and clearly it's just so wrong. What's your take on it, Matt?
Well, it's the same for me in the virtual world as the real world. It's kind of, unless you're on the podium, it's peak down, mate.
Come on, mate.
No, it's peak down.
Look, I can see your socks.
And there's a guy,
clearly are a peak up man.
There's a guy, P. Bernardo, I think it is, on the right hand side. Peak down, got a nice orange Zwift cloth cap. Peak down, man. I mean, maybe we should put it to a Facebook vote after this on our Facebook page.
Well, I'll tell you
virtual
what,
peak up or peak down.
your friend there has got obviously no helmet on. So in that case, it's okay to go peak down. The problem arises when you stick a helmet on, as we always do in the real world. That's the point where you get this juxtaposition, and in order to offset that, you just need to flip the peak up.
Yeah. Okay, Matt. I'd love to agree to a degree on that, but we'd love to hear, of course, as ever, what you guys think.
So it's peak up or peak down on the social media. Let us know what you think. According to, now I'm not even sure if that's an option in Zwift. I think Zwift just has an opinion on that in the design, but perhaps we could get that to be an option in game. Actually, I absolutely love it.
Well, yeah, Zwift, if you're listening, much the same as sock height, cat etiquette is very important. And if you're going to get helmetless, really it should be on backwards with the peak up. That's definitely the fastest.
Good stuff.
That's
That would tell my group. Here we go. There's a few guys going a bit quick at the front. It's a bit split in my group while I was chatting. There we go. Only 5k to go now, I believe. Information I've got. Oh, some great views on this descent. Absolutely. And there's a bit of a mist in the distance as well, leading up towards the mountain. I just love that attention to detail. And I also love it. You've got the things like the glowworms. You've got stuff you can see like particles in the air. And I really like riding at night and when it rains. It rains a lot on the London course, I've noticed, which is probably kind of true.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it?
And we are starting to get some response, actually, guys, on the peak up or peak backward. There's also a peak backwards. Warren Man San Hing is letting everybody know that that is the way it should be done. Thanks a lot, guys, for your comments.
Peak backwards with a helmet on, that's all kinds of wrong now.
Yeah, well, it's going to interfere with the retention strap. It's going to screw around with the aerodynamics.
Turbulence, that's what I'm thinking.
Think about the size of the eddy at the back there.
Looks at Eddie's vortexes.
Oh.
Swirling vortexes.
Oh, God. There's a video there somewhere, mate.
Yeah. How to avoid a swirling vortex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is also a little bit of discussion that maybe we should get a little bit of your professional opinions on. What is your take on the dust in game? The community's been chatting a little bit about that because if you might have noticed, the Mayan course definitely has a whole lot of dirt roads, and it did seem like they calmed it down a little bit though in the game. What's your guys' take on that one?
Well, I think. Oh, sorry, mate.
Look out far away, sir.
I think from my experience, when you hit like a small section of dirt road previously in the game, there are times when you can't see anything, which isn't a problem, obviously, because you don't have to steer, but it can be a little bit disorienting. So I can see damping it down would be a good idea. And I just saw a comment flick up about, if you're using a device that doesn't have quite so much power, maybe that makes it a bit more troublesome. But today, now, it's kind of cool as helps build the atmosphere, really. So I'm all for it. I see why people might have issues with it.
And Matt, would you notice Matt's really managing this group really well. Lots of comments coming through. Full-on leadership here coming here from Matt, it looks like. Let's keep it at 3, under 3, boys and girls. But did you notice a little extra dust out there? Or do you like the dust kicking up more of, I
know on the flat circuit on Watopia, when you go underneath, there's a couple of quite very, very dusty sections where your visibility is kind of zero. I must admit, that's often a bit too much, but I do like it because I like the different road textures. I like it when you go over the pave. And again, dust and gravel becoming increasingly popular as a kind of place to go and ride your bike. And in the dry weather, it kicks up. So I reckon every now and again to have a few plumes of dust to keep it real is great, but maybe with a touch more visibility at times. But I'm all for dust. I'm all for gravel on Zwift, definitely.
And dragons.
And dragons. Thanks, Mike.
Dragons. And so that's actually a really good point with the increase of the longer off-road kind of mix between the road and cross. These more adventure racing type races getting really popular. Maybe we need a couple of those bikes in game. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe even having some specificity to those courses for them being maybe faster on the Mayan route. That'd be kind of cool as well.
Cool idea.
Yeah, you could even do, select some specific gravel sections. So you've got gravel racing, or at least a race that would have a third of it on gravel.
Yeah, and you
that
get to
was
choose,
pretty cool.
You get to
choose your
choose
bike.
an epic endurable road bike.
Oh yeah,
just to really like be specific. Yeah, perfect.
I think that would be pretty popular actually.
Yeah.
Be a great feature, great feature. New power-ups to go right along with it as well, perhaps. I don't know what they could be.
Maybe the disc brake power-up. You could use it to sabotage your opponents. Or kill dragons, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool.
We are getting a question. Who is talking with Matt and Simon? That is myself, Nathan Guerra, coming at you from Zwift Community Live headquarters over here. Yov Ben Shlomo, thanks a lot for jumping into the broadcast with your question. Again, if you would like to interact with the broadcast here, we can bring any of your questions or comments in as they head into the volcano here. Simon and the rest of his group with 112 other Zwifters. I did see an R. Downing also joining you from JLT Condor, I believe, team. At least that was what was in the name there. Did you notice that, Si?
Yeah. Yeah, Russ is here. I'm watching him for the sprint, Nathan. So there's no way to drop him. And the trouble is, he can always out-sprint me, as he did many, many times.
And me as well.
Racing, yeah. So basically, I'm just riding for second place at best.
I'm riding for top 50 side.
Really?
Today, yeah, maybe top 75.
Yeah. You'd be happy with top 150, right?
Yeah,
me too. Yeah.
Halfway down the pack is where I'm at these days, man. Just chilling. Loving it. No pressure.
And there's probably a lot of the viewers are riding with you, so it is going to ramp up a little bit, it sounds like, toward the end of this ride here. At least it's almost being encouraged by Si, it sounds like. You got about 2K, 2.5K to go, 1 mile to go or so as you enter into the volcano here.
So Nathan, just as we head toward the back end, Si's got 2.6 to go, I've got 5.2. Are we going to say that people can light it up in the last kilometre, Si? Is that
I'm going for
2K, okay. Well, I'll do the same then, Nathan. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, and we'll even get a little commentary going with it as well as we see 2 kilometers to go. Wattage bazooka from Si here. Let's go ahead and light those legs up because Si is going to be racing cross. He's going to need that full-on VO2 max effect, boys and girls. You better start ramping it up and make him hang on. No more losing the wheels tonight, Si, as it looks like 5.8, 6.8 watts per kilometer. Here comes 7 now from Richardson now. 171 beats per minute already. Not going to cook it too early, I hope, as we are into the last few K now as Richardson starts to head toward the front of the pack. They're going to take a left-hand turn here into the tunnel as they're exiting the volcano. And a few are starting to lead it out for Mr. Richardson. Somebody out of Sweden with a crazy 12 watts per kilogram, maybe leading it out a little too early.
Right, Si. We've got 2K of easy riding or steady riding. I'm getting a bit nervous. Because you said you're riding for second place, so that's a big ask, man.
Yeah.
You kind of put some pressure on your shoulders there, buddy.
I don't know what's going to happen, Matt.
And the question is, does Si have the dreaded arrow power-up or not, I believe, as they head into the final here. 6 watts per kilogram still coming from Si, but 179 beats per minute, already pushing up into close to maybe 10 beats of his max now. We do have Gannon from the BRT team up toward the front here. Richardson still following it up, it looks like, able to hang on, position himself well. The lead-out train is starting here in this group ride, and this turns into a little bit one of those fun group rides where it sticks together, but then at the end, in the last few K, they kind of let it go, let the reins go, just like you would in your local group ride toward the finish of the ride here. Maki here with 10 watts per kilogram, leading everybody out. Looks like Rasek here as well as G. Denny. Oh, we got to get back with Si, though, as we went a little too far back. Downing, though, off the back. Looks like you're not sprinting for second, as it looks like you've been able to drop him off. Si to the line now. We're going to try and get back with them. The leaders are flying. Here we go. Jay Mathezo now. Si up into 7 watts per kilogram, 6 watts per kilogram. We're watching it here. Will he be able to take the sprint? 10 watts per kilogram coming from Anvik. Somebody's saying, oh my heart, as it is blowing up. Si looks like he's almost going to take it maybe for the top 5, as a few did jump on the front end with that arrow power up, but it looks like Richardson's going to be, looks like about a 5th or 6th place. Pretty good there amongst that group. Whew.
Right. Well, I've got, oh, well, nice one, Si. You love going deep on Zwift. You can't help yourself, can you?
No.
Unbelievable. He loves it. Long
What,
retired.
Si, when you catch your breath, let me know what your
Never
max
really
heart
retired.
rate is. As I saw a 186 out there.
I think at 198, I think I've seen we're doing something for Zwift and GCN.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, if I'm fresh, that's how it is.
Nice, nice. Very good. Now we are seeing Matt's situation here. What's the prediction now with 2K to go? With 2K to go is when they're going to open it up. A lot of comments coming through here. Let's go through those real quick as we wait for Matt's sprint to be opening up when they do allow the floodgates to go here. We are getting a few coming through. Good luck, Si, coming from Yove there. We're also seeing Harry here as well saying, go Simon, go. Nice finish there from Marco as well. Andy Brooks saying well done to Simon as well. Thanks a lot for all the comments coming through there. It's Matt's turn. What's the prediction for Stevens here? He says I'm going to lead out and build it up. Here we go.
Yeah. I've got it in caps lock as well, so it sounds even more shouty. Yeah, so 2.4 to go. Let's just keep it steady, and then I'm going to go to the front and kind of lead things out gradually, like a lead out. Got 300 meters to that point. I'm just going to move to the front now.
And now we have almost like a lead out simulation. This looks like a good sprint simulation. Looking forward to maybe some group workouts with the GCN boys in the future. That'd be pretty cool here. So this is a little taste maybe.
This is cool. Right, here we go.
550 watts coming from Stevens. How long can he hold a 6.5 watts per kilogram? Quite the lead out here coming from Stevens. Now, let's get back into Zwift here. Sorry about that, guys. We have the wrong. There we go. We're back in with the correct view now. Stevens now absolutely kicking it into the 498 watts still. 6.8 now. We got a couple other riders coming around him, though. It is going to be G. Valdez as well as Shalikov there coming out of Russia now.
Yeah, Nathan, you got to watch this. This is going to be a long one. 1.5K to go. Matt's keeping it at 450 plus. Come on, Matt. Looking smooth. Nice. This is remarkable to see. Always a pleasure.
Let's see those ride-ons rain down right now on Matt Stevens as he attempts to lead these boys out. There's actually a group a little ways ahead. Maybe Matt can even lead them out to catch that group. Here comes the train now. And Valdez, Ramsey, it looks like Strauss as well out of the Netherlands catching back onto that wheel. Is there going to be a second win for Matt? Is he still holding 350 watts?
Come on, Matt. 1K to go. Last K. Get in the wheels, mate. He's got this one sewn up, Nathan.
It's all about holding that wheel at this point. Does he have an arrow power up, Simon? Pop the arrow power up if he's got one.
Deploy, Nathan. What does he deploy?
How do I deploy it?
How does he deploy it?
Space bar! Space bar, Matt! Hit the space bar!
He's doing it. He's arrow.
There is the arrow power up, reducing the drag on that avatar. Look at him fly right through the pack now, still holding 378 watts. Perfectly timed. Looking from the top view now. Will he be able to take a few down in the final K?
Oh,
and
saddle.
524 watts, 7 watts per kilogram. He goes right by them all. Matt Stevens for the win, or is there one last kick to the line? Looks like he was able to take it. What an amazing ride there. Nice job there, Matt. Nice job.
PC Dan couldn't have done better.
I went deep there, boys and girls.
Yeah, we saw, mate. We really saw.
No half purchase with us, boys. You get good value.
And now, speaking of etiquette, you know, there's a lot of different kinds of rides out on Zwift that people can do. And there's some that stick together all the way to the end. And then you guys did a great job there of really policing things and making sure everybody's stuck together. But then also, you got this situation where you can get that last little sprint and everybody gets an amazing workout to push each other. You know, give it a little go at the end.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, it's fun as well. It's kind of, it's accessible. Whereas it might seem like a big deal to turn up to a bike race and pin a number on. actually going out with a group, whether it's on Zwift or in, you know, in the real world, like it's a nice way to get the same kind of sensations and adrenaline as a bike race, but in a really informal, relaxed setting. Because, you know, I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm expecting it to be a cafe just a few hundred meters up the road.
Yeah.
We can all pull in, regroup, get a nice flat white, and then discuss what's just happened.
Yeah, we talked quite a few times on this ride, haven't we, about etiquette and group riding, and it is kind of legit that as long as you keep it together, wait for people mid-ride over the climbs, and then there's a general agreement that last kilometre, it's like sprinting for the town sign where the cafe is. It's something that has always happened, and if you don't want to do it, no worries, you know, it's just a fun element, and if you want to participate in having a bit of a go near the end, do, because it does kind of replicate a race effort.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah, the only thing you've got to be careful of is, you know, when you're in the real world, is actually forgetting that you're on open roads.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've seen that a few times, and that's not
Oh,
cool.
yeah. No, you completely, that's a really good point.
You've got to keep it respectful. But you choose your moment, don't you? You have a sprint for a town sign or you race up a climb, and that's all. Yeah, that's cool.
No, definitely. Everybody, you know, vast majority, a few little guys off the front, but generally speaking, it was really great to see people, you know, taking my lead and sitting behind me, that little lead out, and that's what makes it far more fun. You know, it's. But no, thanks to everybody who's come on Simon's and my ride today.
Yeah.
We're, the one thing that we have to say about Zwift, can you build a cafe in there and then have it like electronically attached to a real coffee machine? That'd be so cool. Then we can sit, go on social media, talk about our ride and drink a brew in Zwift. So what we're going to have to do in the interim is go for a coffee just round the corner from GCN HQ. That's going to have to do, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
But no, that was a cool little ride.
Yeah,
and a great course.
So yeah, last impressions then, guys, on the new Mayan course. You got to see it. That was the first GCN ride with here out on the new Mayan course. Lots of new features involved in it with the level lock. We chatted a little bit about that. Also the ability to join in with the group rides. Also, there is also a little bit of a lead out to get there. You have to work a little bit to get there as well. And then obviously the graphical and all the new features on the course. What were the standouts for you guys?
The Indiana Jones rope bridge, 100%. That was awesome. And I like you talking when we were out there, the fact that it's so twisty, the fact that it's on gravel. I'm looking forward to doing a race back there. That's my competitive instinct coming out. But no, I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would echo Simon's sentiments. I think my favourite as well was the rope bridge. That little plummet down and that nasty sharp kick up. It reminds me of the underground bridge on the London circuit, where you've got a really short, sharp climb of only kind of 50 metres long. But no, just the attention to detail of the new Mayan course. And also I like the fact it wasn't too hilly, it was just gently rolling, so it's a course you get to a nice rhythm on. And yeah, just all the vines, the flora and the fauna, the shapes of the road, the epic scope of the mountains. It's a very welcome and worthy addition to the Zwift pantheon of courses.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of courses out there. I have a feeling one question that might come up then too, one last one for you guys. Then, is this your new favorite course, or do you still have one that's a little closer to your hearts out on Zwift?
It's a tough call, that.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't have a favourite course. The thing about Zwift, I guess I ride Watopia more because I know about it and I know the kind of levels. It's a really good gauge of my fitness. But in terms of favourite courses, I like them all. I mean, I really like the Richmond course over the cobbles, those short, steep climbs. I'm a big fan of London going up Box Hill, so I don't really have a favourite. I like riding on them all, but this one is somewhere I'll go pretty regularly, I think.
Yeah, I think it's nice having the variation, isn't it? And, you know, there is an extreme variation available. So I think Zwift Mountain's pretty cool, isn't it? Actually feeling like you're riding up a proper climb.
It is incredible.
I do like that. So, yeah, this one is cool. Very cool.
Yeah, the Zwift Mountain is great for training as well. I used to go there for my 20s. That was my interval set. The motivation to have that set point at the top of the climb to shoot for, as well as the other competitors out there that are always pushing for the epic KOM. All right, guys. Thanks so much for the ride. The community obviously loved it. We got so many comments coming through. A lot of encouragement there to both Cy and Matt on a great job on your sprints. Guys, that was a lot of fun to watch. Appreciate you guys and your time. And we'll see you again soon for some more Zwifting with GCN. Cheers, mates.
Cheers. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Aidan.
And that was the Zwift Riding with the GCN on the new Mayan course. That was a great time with those guys. Again, you can continue to interact, obviously, with the broadcast on the Zwift Facebook post, as well as over on Twitter. It looked like Cy was taking some pics there as well. And if you enjoyed this, make sure to hit that follow button on any of the places that we are live streaming and you're watching right now. Obviously, over on Zwift's Facebook, you can also check out our Zwift Community Live Facebook. And we are streaming on Twitch, Mixer, as well as YouTube. You can also check out all of our VODs over on YouTube. We'll be back in a few hours on Zwift Community Live with the SZR race, actually with a live feature on Twitch's front page. So we're going to have a great day of racing, as well as another ride over on the Jungle Loop, actually. So look forward to seeing you all there in just a few hours. Great job to all the riders and the group riders joining in today. And as always, ride on.